Hello and welcome back to TrainSim World 6. Well, we're looking at the East Coastway Remaster slash the time the 717 and 377 side of things. If you haven't done so already, go and check out the last video which I've done on the original timetable, those two, on the 313 only. But we're now going to look at the 2018 side of things, which are these two here. So we're going to start off with the 377-3 version. This is the timetable you'll have ultimately if you don't have the 313. And all it is that will take over the 313 services, which I believe are all simulated on here anyway, to be driver only operation. You do have all the rest as well. Obviously on this one though you do have the 313, which is guarded. So, and no sign of that, which is a bit of a shame they didn't actually add in the 377-3 onto this, just so it actually was on the route, as it were, because it would have been something nice to see in, but hey ho, it's not. But you got a lot here. We're going to take the 378 and 371-8 on for a quick spin. They're once every what? Two hours? They're not frequent. They are what? Brighton to Brighton once every 2 hours as well. They're both in tandem with each other. And then the 377-4 runs, say what? Oh, it does do some Seaford services. I thought this is Freshbourne, but Eastbourne to London Victoria. So Brighton to Orr, say, they are what, once every not very frequent by the looks of that, but they are obviously a lot more because you do have all these, which are mileage things if you are curious, then nothing else. Flying Scotsburn, which you do see being dragged for about half the time. Obviously got the chopper on here as well. But you've also got diversionary, 375, and obviously some of the ones which are empty stocking workings, as it were. Empty stuff here. And you have got some of the runs here as well. And also you've got the rail tour, which was done as well. So, obviously you got all the 377s, the West Coast Main Line and London Brighton one as well. If you don't like the sounds of the old one, there is potentially, I think there is an update coming as well. You do have the 47484, which I think is a bit of a shame thing here. On here, that loco is underused. I'm going to say it right now, but we're going straight into the 37 and we're going to go straight into a run. I'm going to do the run I've already actually run, but that's only because I don't use any of them up. We'll also use dynamic. Yes, you have got guard mode. But in this, we're going to focus on the main thing, and that is the timetable and driving the route, or not guarding the route. So don't forget to hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell if you want to see the guard mode in use. Obviously, the standard thing of safety systems. And yes, there are announcements. As well, and yes, there is a working GMSR. There is faults on it only for the wipers, but there. So I've obviously watched the Transport Teluga's remastered looks and also the 717 looks. He is such a twad. Anyway, when it comes to this, because he has a flipping gender against Rivet Games to start from, so it taints his views to start from. I'm staying completely neutral from that, and yeah, we are clear the lead, so there's no point of shoving that on. You do have that, even though I don't think you'd use it. All that frequent. Anyway. So if we do the full run, we do the full run. If we don't. I'm going to get out of here. And you may notice livery substitution works with the Thames Loop run up there. You do have a guard mode on here that works. Do have that if you need it. But with this route, you probably actually don't need it. So if you are curious what's the difference between the two versions, one's a 4-car, one's a 2-car. And as you can see, suspension is in the route as well. I'm yet to see the disappearing track, which people have been saying about. And there's the depot area, which is in use as well, which is actually a nice thing to see. I can't remember who made that livery, so I won't say who it was for that reason. But you can go and download it on the Creators Club if you so wish. So as you can tell, this route is very stable because they're still in the route, still in. Now I will say, if you haven't done so already, don't forget to go and check out the previous video on just the remaster itself, and that will show you a bit more of the route, the old timetables. If you haven't picked this up, going forward, I will probably mostly just use this timetable and the 377-3 timetable. So it will be interesting to see what Rivet do next. Will they stay within the south, or will they head back north? As they've now got a timetable in, quite a decent person who did a timetables now around. They might actually be able to do some decent timetables. Spoiler warning, if you are curious, this timetable was actually originally a mod for PC only, but now it's obviously available for everyone to have. Yes, behind a paywall. But it's got new in some respects on it, it's not just a clone, it is a new class. It's a 717, not a 170, for crying out loud. Yes, it looks identical. It looks identical in here to a flipping 377 and a 375, as it were, but that's because it's made by the same company. And I will state, I didn't actually pay any attention to the announcement, so I can't remember if it said this is a southern service or not. Yes, TPWS does actually work on the route as well, I believe, as far as I know. And I do mention about the sounds in the other one for the 377 as well. And on this one as well, the 377-3 doesn't have new sounds, that is the old sounds as well. That is licensing for you. the reason why we've probably not actually seen a southwestern route yet. Licensing. I'm not going to coast because we're so fucking under the limit. It's unbelievable. I will now, however, coast because of the 35. So obviously these are pretty much non-stopping services to Brighton, if you think of it. These are doing the fast services which are on the route now. Poolgate and Lewis. As far as I don't know why they're stopping at Poolgate, because Poolgate isn't really a big station area. Obviously these would continue to Ashford, but that's not modelled. So obviously it's a remaster of the route, not an extension, because an extension would be a paid DLC. But obviously the Train Sort of Taluga, DC whatever, doesn't understand that. Hello Dynamic Weather.
We are now approaching Poolgate.
And Dynamic, the way it might just do that isn't a core problem, not a route problem. Little toot to the P-Way staff. It's a shame they definitely don't wave back like they probably should do anyway. And yes, we're coming up to a red. That doesn't mean there's something in front of us, it could just be the level crossing it is. So we're a 4-car, we're stopping on the 4-car marker.
This is Poolgate. This train is the Southern service to Brighton, calling at Lewis and Brighton. The next station is Lewis.
As I put the on, it goes green. Anyway, so yeah, this does say Southern, so I don't know why the 3-on-3 didn't. I'm going to guess the 377-4 might be the same as well. I know the sounds are not everyone's tastes. Let's go outside. Here we go. I will state they are too clean. They haven't got the smoke effects like Great Western Express. So that could be a negative point. But obviously if you didn't know, get out. The rail singing is in. I didn't show that off in the 3-on-3. We were stopping too frequently to try and get up the camera easy. So I do believe there wasn't any rail tolls on this run, so we won't be seeing that. We won't be seeing the sheds either. But obviously we could see a temporary speed limit, which will be 40 miles an hour, which is a bug. And it's a known problem as well, but probably isn't going to be high priority. A high priority to fix because there's a lot of other problems out there that are higher priority, aka the blurring textures, the optimization, as it were, and the missing services on PlayStation, which is the mounting problem, and also the crashing on Xbox, which is also a mounting problem. I have to admit for the Czech route, I'm not going to try and pronounce the places, I'm actually 50-50. 8 coach. So, yeah, I'm 50-50 if I might pick that route up. The price tags put me off a bit, but the route doesn't look that bad. While I'm here, I'm also going to say this. Apart from the speed, country, as it speeds and the country wise, what's the difference between that and West Coast and obviously Arosa, West Somerset and Island Line? They're all single track lines. Oh, and obviously Mittenborn, and the other German DMU one, whatever that route is, and that route. Considering that all these obviously single lines, and obviously the Mittens, but all barn as well. Thinking of it, or did I say that one? Because they're all single lines. And people don't like West Coast Main Line, not West Somerset. Is it because it's a heritage railway? Alright, by the chance of it? Because what's wrong with, to be honest, what's wrong with going slow, considering you go slow on, obviously, and Benelli as well, you do have slow bits of 30 kilometers an hour, which is less than 35, by the way. Actually, I can actually tell you what the speed limit is actually when that comes in, because I've got my tablet nearby. There you go, there's the disappearing fog. 30 kph, 2 miles an hour. Considering you go slower on Benelli than West Coast Main, than West Somerset. So yeah, and that tops out at what, 35, which is not even faster than the other routes. There's the temporary speed limit. Yes, I'm driving under a keyboard at the moment. So yeah. So what is obviously the highest speed is 60. That is 37. That's still slower than Island Line. Just to point that one out. Yes, I'm focused on stopping at the moment. On the speed limit. Which, to be fairness, we can put as it's a bug. Obviously, that it's only 40 and that sort of distance. I've already got screenshots, so I don't have to worry about getting that. Oh yeah. There you go, that's the horn outside if you didn't know. If you got curious on that one. Well, that's actually in quite a decent place because they put it over a level crossing. Anyway. So, like I said about the West Somerset, what's people's moan about it? You're going quicker than the flipping Arusa line, for crying out loud. And yes, I know Arusa line was made by games. That's probably the reason why no one likes that route. Because for some strange reason, people have an agenda against Rivet Games. Cough, 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 DC, whatever his name is. And I will also state I'm mixed on the expert for the 145 as well for TrainSim Germany. I don't drive the 101 that much, so I probably won't not pick it up that well. I believe that's just an AWS health test one, because there's no signals, and that would correlate to that, or speed limit, that would correlate to that one. Obviously, the AI will just do that pretty much for the horn. $700 doing mileage. Hello, Pride one again. Who would have thought that one was very frequently used? I'm actually letting the train coast itself now. I'm more or less, like I said, just coasting now. I'm not bothering to speed up or anything. With the brake just being a little bit helpful. AWS falling in for the 40. Someone's dog's barking like crazy. I don't know if you can hear that. Warning for the 10 and 20.
We are now approaching Lewis.
I might break the 20 slightly, or not. And you will have some cats to look for as well, which I did mention in the previous one to find as well. So obviously the 8 coach trains don't fit in the platform. Because these platforms are not actually long enough for them. And spoiler warning, that happens a lot. People from other countries don't understand that. Yes, I'm talking about Teluga again. I will admit that person just teleported to a point on that seat to sit down on.
This is Lewis. This train is the Southern service to Brighton, calling at Brighton only.
So, you're just a 4 coach here. Third rail. Nope. Announcements at the platform.
And Brighton. Customers are reminded to mind the gap between the train and the platform edge when walking.
The noisy train maybe have to come up to the signal, the actual speaker, but hey ho. So yeah, if you're a 8 or 12, you don't come here. And if you haven't noticed, that's where that 4 car ends. Well, that 4 car is already all the way back. From here, I didn't put neutral, so, but yeah. No, I didn't. Even though I pressed the button to put it into neutral. Never mind. Oh, there's some obviously stuck in the door. Right, alright. Bad guard. Someone's got caught in the door. Let me go and sort that out. Has to be the rear one, doesn't it? I was going to say, why don't they just freeze them? Apparently they were late, but hey ho. The guard's not doing his job, so.
Southern service to Brighton, calling at Brighton only. The next station is Brighton.
Might be useful if I took DRA off. Yeah, these can hit 100, but you won't be hitting 100 anywhere on this route. Time for the painful 10 mile an hour. It's going to be like how it is on American routes, but that is obviously 5 mile an hour, not 10 mile an hour. But come here, keyboard. Safety systems are over here, if you didn't know. Can I open that up so you can hear the sounds from inside a little bit? Especially when I walk, and we can. There you go. It's the only. Yeah, there is a sound point for that, but hey, hey. You can't do the PIS. That does have a slight bug on it if it disappears like all the other routes, but you can play around with it, with the brightness and so forth. And you can contact the guard, the signaller, with that or pressing the phone. But that phone there is for the guard, not guard though as well. As you can tell. Anyway, there's no tunnel reverb, sadly. Like I said, frame rate in the previous one's got no problems. As you can see. I'll bring it back up at Brighton, where it is busy. And I do mean busy. Obviously we are struggling up a hill, which is very helpful for our speed. Caravan over there. Some of these assets I believe are new. Some of them you might even see a fire at them. No, what? I never did this with the 313. Let's do a flyby. That would do. Train spotting might be funner now because of the sound effects. I will state this, but no one else has noticed this, obviously, but the reflections that come from the signals are actually quite nice. We've still not even hit 70. So like I said in the previous one, this is still 2D and no texturing at all, but these fields do change on a frequent basis and you can still find 2D textures. I mean, yes, I'm chasing after the train. So yeah, as you can see, I have been on this road in real life. Anyway, feels like I might have a sneeze coming. So like I said in the previous video as well, we're coming up to Brighton's football stadium, or Bright House as I've nicknamed them. And yes, licensing. Does exist. Yes, you do hear sound effects coming from the stadium as well at match times. And it might have to do with days as well. So you might only hear sounds on a Saturday and a Sunday. But don't count me on that one. It depends on if they were programmed to do the FA and the Carabao Cup games as well. And potentially any other midweek games as well. And that obviously goes with not just that, but Europa and Champions League as well. Obviously Brighton have been in the Europa League and not the Champions League. Have they been in the Conference League? No idea. I don't follow them, I follow the other South Coast club. which is in the game still. Which you probably know if you've seen any of the other videos. I may have now did the video on the screen for you. I've only driven this service and driven that already, blimey. 313. So moves come. I'm just coasting at the moment, I'm not bothering with accelerating. So, I'm going to bring the FPS up in 3, 2, 1. So we've dropped down to 45, say, which is still quite decent. Because we're in that Brighton sort of load now area. Brighton will load up, is in theory loading up around here, say. It will. If you are curious, all you're seeing of the train is what's in front of me. You will not actually, none of that is actually loaded in that view. That's why sometimes you might have a slight lag when loading up. Dovetail said that in a stream, by the way. Because I don't work for Dovetail or Rivet or anything like that. I'm not even an ambassador. So hopefully that might have made a lot you want to subscribe to the channel and like the video. I will state I haven't got a clue when these are going out. Oh yeah, the mastery tile. Okay, we're dropping down a little bit now as Brighton loads up, but at the same time that could be liveries as well. Why is the controller given a green aspect when that's a yellow?
We are now approaching Brighton.
Well, I never mentioned this is the final stop. We're now approaching our final stop. This is Brighton situation. Now, I'm curious about something. I wonder if the Great Westerns liveries might lay onto this or not and sub in into a much busier Brighton. Is that the Pride one parked up again? I'm gonna laugh if it is. So obviously Brighton Main Line hasn't got the 717 or the 377-3 put onto it, and that includes the 377-2 or Thameslink still. Before they touch that route with doing another new timetable to it, they're going to need to do work to it. Yes, it is the Pride one again. They're going to need to do a lot of work on the route to get it actually viable to do it. Because I'm pretty certain it's literally on the brink of full collapse it will be if they put any more on it now. And that's when they put in a few freight services on it, they mentioned that. Technically, TPWS should have spagged me out for turn 10, but oh well. Oh yeah, announcements. Don't hit the buffers, don't hit the buffers. Oh, it didn't even allow me to do anything else. Free won't.
St Pancras International, West Hampstead, St Albans, Hartland, Luton Airport.
Yeah, flung me out the flipping station, why don't you? So sometimes you will see a Great Western parked up. These are just the reduced.
Delancey Bay, Norman's Bay, Couden Beach, Collington, Bexhill, St Leonard's, Hastings, Orr, Three Oaks, Dolan, Winchelsea, Rye, Appledore, Ham Street, and Ashford.
It's a shame they haven't got the PIS on these, but then that might be because they're not going anywhere at the moment. You're not until 1420, you're 14. You're due to go now. You're due in a couple of minutes, so yeah, they haven't got those working. I don't know if the AI can pick. I don't know what the heck that was then the other stuff. The other 377s. Anyway. So I left the FPS up. Never mind, you can tell how bad it is when it goes into loading it, the flipping menus. Come on. Anyway, so obviously that was the East Coast. Not East Coast. East Coastway. So on the other note, what do you get? Well, you do get 3 scenarios. So you get Bridge Strike, Unit Drag, and Ice Over. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see those, because I will do them in the future. Oddly enough, it goes from 1, 2, and then 3 levels, which is hilarious in order. Like I said, you will probably only be seeing that timetable and that timetable from now on coming out. This timetable and the 2020 timetables are now redundant, as it were, so yeah. Just to prove that they're not on London Brighton, let me find London Brighton, or should I say London Commuter. So obviously, here we go. They're just the ones which are on here at the moment. You don't even get the first Great Western livery, which is a bit of a shame. But you do obviously have all the sheds. Anyway. Obviously, it won't go onto West Coast main line because the faction that is the wrong 377 to start from. But there, so layers. Obviously, do the last bit here, which is all of them. So I'm going to go through them slowly. But that is only so you can actually see them. And I'm talking straight over them to make it easier. So yeah, so these are all the layers, as it were. So don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell. I will see you in the next video. And I will just do the other one as well, so you can see that one. It's the same, but it's without the 313. And that is it. So, don't forget the like button, hit the subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Have an awesome day.